In this video, we will model a toi et moi ring. Toi et moi means you and me. So usually it's made with two parts and with two gems, so main gems. And what we will do, first of all, we will just have a simple drawing on how it will look in the end from top view here. So basically here you will have a gem over there, okay, a gem over there, let's say. And you will have this shape for the ring itself. Okay, that goes here and same here and same in the other side for here. Okay, let's say something like that. Okay, and in the end you will have the ring. So and we will add some other little gems, maybe 3, maybe 4. We will see, it depends on the side, like that. So it will be something like this in the end. Whoa, I'm very good at drawing. So I will erase that, it was just showing you. And the first thing we will do, we will use the add-on Jewelcraft thanks to Mikhail. I don't want to scratch his name. So I go in the preferences and Jewelcraft here. Mikhail Hashinsky, thanks you a lot. We love your add-on. And first of all, we will set the units. We don't want to model a house, we want to model a ring, so we want some millimeters and not some meters. And after, we will just add the curve that will define the size of the ring itself. So this depends of your order. Okay, if you have a customer that wants a specific size, so you have the USA size, you have the Britain, the Swiss, the Japan, the Hong Kong. So I will just take, let's say 5.5 for, or maybe 6 even for the USA. It will be 52 circumference here, millimeters. Good, this will be the inside of the ring and we have to not cross inside. So I will go in front view, in orthographic view, and I will add here. So usually with Jewelcraft, you use this curve to, and with a curve modifier to bend a bar, but in that specific case, we will not use that. We will just add a cylinder. Okay, so let's add a cylinder. And in the options of the cylinder, I would like 128 to have enough definition. And in edit mode tab, I will make a RX 90 degrees, just scale it until we have the right size to have the inside of the ring. Remember that it's inside the ring. So I will just remove these faces here over there. And now I will have this shape. I select everything, make SY, and inside view, I will define the size of my ring here, over there. So maybe I want something 1.8 millimeters, so somewhere here. If I zoom in, I can really see what's happening. So with SY, okay. Let's say this size might be good for the basic. Okay, and what I will do, I will just select everything and I will extrude that with a right click to keep it there and make Alt S to add some depth into it. Okay, a thickness into it. So now I will have here the basic thickness of the ring. It depends on what you do. Okay, you can still change the offset here. So here by default it's 1.5 or 1.6. Maybe I will put a squarish shape just like that. Very simple. So like this it's 1.8, sorry. Whoa, not 18, 1.8, it will be better. Yeah, no, I did prefer 1.6. It's thinner, it looks more beautiful. So now what I want to do is create half of the shape. So I will just remove everything into the left side. I will select everything in transparent view there, okay, or with the wireframe here, and you remove the faces just like that. Good. Now you have to understand something. We will not play with the mirror modifier here because it cannot work well. So what we will do, or it might can work in some cases, we will try something, okay? Just doing this here, and basically we will add the gems first, okay? Like this, we are sure to place our ring with our gems well. So what we will do, we'll add a gem here, and this gem might be around 3 or 4 millimeters, maybe 4. Let's add 4, and we will see. It's a big one like that. Maybe 3.5 might be okay. 3.5, okay, something like that. Good. And then in front view, we will put it there on top. Maybe we will go there and we will place the gem already that it will fit our design. So the goal is that they will not touch each other. It will depend on the setting you want to use for the gem as well, but basically here it will be a good result for what we want, okay? And we want the two gems to face directly the z-axis. We don't want a rotation like that, okay? So we want something like this. Now, with proportional editing in edit mode and with these 4 vertices, I will just put these vertices here with this connected only and sharp. Just be careful to not move with the too big. You see, with the scroll of my mouse, I can increase or decrease the size of what I move here. And if I move too much, I mean, the bottom of the ring will move too, and this has to not move. So we have to take care to have the good limit to not move it. So something around there might be good for me. And I will place this in the center of the gem here. Okay, you can see that it works pretty well for now. And what we would like, we will change now we will change the proportional editing, and we will use the smooth here like this, and we will make a SY. Okay, no, first of all, we want the sharp, sorry, to have this kind of nice shape, okay, with SY like this, to have this kind of shape. That works well. Nice one. So we have more or less what we want here. Not too big, just enough. Something like that might be okay. And then after, I would like to extrude that shape to can continue and follow more or less the shape of the stone here. So what I want to do, maybe I will make a SY again just a little to make it a little bigger. And then after, I can still come back to each one here to scale it, or just move it into the y-axis if needed, just to have a right shape that works well, okay, with our design. Now I want to extrude this, so into this axis, into the x-axis now, okay. Maybe I will come back to this one here, make an SY. It's still a little too big there in my opinion. And just now with EX, SY, EX, SY, EX, SY again, yes, and ES again, SY again. Okay, now we'll have this kind of shape. Looks good for what we need. And what we will need as well is having here a nice bevel into this this curve, into that shape here. So what we will do for that, we will create here the last face that we need in that case, and maybe put it a little into the, push it a little into the x-axis to have this. Yeah, might be good. Now we want to add a bevel into that shape, so let's go and add a bevel. We could just stay with that, because with the angle it will work quite well, except here, but yeah, even whatever, will not take that option. We will take that option here. So if I select this loop over there and this loop over there and add this one here, we don't want an angle offset here, we want a weight. And by default it makes nothing. We will increase the amount like 0.5 or 6 maybe millimeters. And into the options, the items here, we can increase and choose the bevel that we want in that area. So maybe just this might be good for me. Okay. And what is good in that case, it's that I can select this part here and just increase the bevel weight to have a bigger one. Okay. So that's what I will do with all this loop over there. And I will increase that and increase the number of segments as well. Like this, I will have a rounded shape like this. It's really what I want for this kind of design. I will add a loop in the center here. And this loop will help me to have a better shape in that, in the end of it over there. Like this, we have a better shape here. And you can still come back with these loops here and push them inside to have a better ending here. Okay, so now we can click on shade smooth, shade auto smooth even. Okay, and now we have this nice shape that looks very gorgeous. Now we would like to create a kind of rail here that will take the next gems. So for this rail, it's quite simple. Let's go in edit view here, and we can tell that the next gem will be over there, maybe. So what you have to do is select the faces that will have a rail. So let's go for that, and maybe we will take all of this with C. I can select until here, maybe almost half. It depends this more or less, but yeah, it depends the number of gems that you want to add and everything. But let's say we would like to have this rail until half of it there. So now I will use the Y here. The Y is the inset, not the bevel here, the inset face. So yeah, I will add an inset into that area. Okay. And this inset, I will extrude it. So now that I have this inset like this, I can extrude this inside. So I will extrude that, keep it there, and make Alt S to put it, to push it inside like that. Okay, and you can see that now it works well. So I want a rail not that deep, maybe something like that might be good. It really depends of what you need for the gems that you will put inside, but you have the number here. Okay, so if you want to come back here by default and not have to this selection to make, you can anyway come back to this selection and just with Alt S come back inside or outside if needed. Okay, so now I would like to increase the bevel of this part over there, this part over there as well, to have almost the same level as the side here. So I will increase this bevel weight, and look, now it will look very good. So we have a nice design already. Good. So now what we can do is adding the gems. So for that, we will just select the loop here. From here, okay, to here with control, can select everything between the two clicks, okay. I will select this, Shift D to duplicate, right click to keep it here, and then after I will just separate with P. I separate this selection, so I create a new, and this will be the distribution curve, okay. And by default it's a mesh, it's not a curve, so I make a right click and convert this to a curve. Now it's a curve. So here it's the ring itself. I rename things because it's very important, especially in jewelry. You have a lot of parts usually, so it can be very useful to make this. So you have this shape. Okay, good. Now I can distribute some gems into that curve. And I will create a new collection for the gems. Okay. Now I will add the first gem that will start from here. So let's go and add a gem here into Jewelcraft. Sorry, it will not be there. Add a gem, and maybe the first one might be 1.6, maybe even 1.4. It will depend if it will start from top or here. Ah, yeah, something that you can see, that you can manage before adding this, sorry. It's going into the distribution curve, go inside the curve, and go into the normals here, enable the normals, and you can see the normals, how they are oriented, okay? So maybe some are not that well oriented, and with Control T, you can see that you can change the orientation of it, and now it will be better in my opinion. And you can see that here it starts from here, it's really you follow here the lines, so here it starts here and it finishes here. Maybe I want to invert this in some cases, so in this case I go to segment and I switch the direction like that, okay. And maybe I come back again with a Control T to put back everything well oriented compared to the next, compared to the surface here. So it looks quite good. Now I would like to distribute on that. So for this, I add a gem, sorry, it will be 1.5 or 1.4. We will see that. And I will click on OK. So this will be my first one. I select the round, I select the size, the distribution curve, then the round, okay. The distribution curve has to be in yellow, and I go to Jewelling here, and I will use some distribute on curve. Good, and we will have this by default. So it's not really what you want and what I want as well. So first of all, we have to decrease the quantity at maybe 2 for start. We want an absolute offset, so it will be 0.2 millimeters between each gem. You can increase here the start, like this it will start in the right position. We can zoom in a little to see the size of it, so you can see that you can manage the size as well into Jewelling. Maybe 1.2 for the first two might be okay, okay? Good, and we will go up and increase, and to do that we will add 1, okay? And maybe the next one will be 1.3, who knows? So even 1.250, depending of what you need. And you increase the size, and you increase the size. It's that simple. And it looks so good. So as you can see, it follows well the rail that we did create. So it's perfect for our need, What you can do in that in that point, you see that it doesn't go directly into the edge of the rail here. So what you can do for that, you can just decrease or increase here the number, for example, of the 3 first, something like this, and decrease the absolute offset. And in that case, you will have something that follows well the design, just like this. Very simple, very easy. And you see that it works very well to have your gems directly into the design. Okay, good. So now what we would like to duplicate that and make a rotation, because if we use here, for example, if I add a modifier generate mirror, it might not work as we want, okay? So in that case, we cannot flip, we cannot bisect and flip, it will not work well, whatever. So yeah, the best to do is to use here what's inside, again, the Jewelcraft add-on here. So you go into the object section here, you have your selection, and you select the objects, not only the one, but all the objects that you want to move into the other side. So, and for this you use the radial. The radial, you will move to collection, let's say round, okay? And you will count at 2. And you will use Z 360 degrees, and the pivot point is the scene, is the center of the scene. And now you will have what you want. And this is good here. We have more or less what we want. So perfect for our need. Maybe we would like to add something that the gems are a little bigger or something like this. What you can do in that case, you can just select what you want here. For example, this part until here, and you can see that it works in both objects, the one that you have and the one that is here as well. So maybe I would like to scale this with proportional editing again to adjust the shape and the size of what I want to do. So maybe I will take a smooth in that case, not too big, just scale it and just maybe into the y-axis, something like this, okay? And then when it's scaled, you can just move it a little into the x-axis to have this kind of shape, okay? You can still adjust some vertices here, like for example, this part that you might want to adjust to have the right shape that you want. So let's take this and make a G just to have something simple like that, okay? And then we can adjust the size of the gem itself, okay? Maybe we want it a little bigger, like that. Good. And what we want to do now is put the gem inside a little, because it will be something, or what you can do in that case, actually, you can add some other designs. So like for example here, you could add some prongs around with the prong over there. Where is it? In the jeweling section you have the prong here, but here the prong will not work very well because it's far too big, and maybe you have to increase the number and to increase the diameter and all of that, okay? So it might not work. You might work with the position and everything, so 60 degrees might be good, okay, for in that case. And the intersection section here, you can increase this as well to push it inside, okay? Then you want this area to be in the same place, so you want to change the bottom value to go until there maybe. But in that case, it doesn't look very good and it's not very smooth design. So what you can do, you can model it yourself as well, or you can just use an asset here, browser, an asset, and I have here my asset jewels that I use often. I will put a link on it if you are interested for purchase it, but anyway, you will see that it's a very simple design, so you can really make it yourself. In the objects here for the rings, for example, you have the prongs, okay? And you can choose different prongs for your needs. For example, let's say this one might be the one that I want just the little claws here. So maybe this claws, or maybe this one for having something interesting here. So in that case, I just select this, click and drag it, put it here without instance in the center to have something centered. And now I can just place these objects where I want. So here I just have 2 objects. So maybe I will not need this. Maybe I will not need this. Maybe I will just need this in that case. Okay. So what I will do, I will just select this, Shift S cursor to selection, and then Shift S selection to cursor, and make GZ to align it well. Okay. So now I can just scale this down. Okay. In edit mode, maybe put it in the right position there. Maybe something like that might be perfect. Okay. Now I can go into edit view again and select just this face and push it up to make it disappear inside the design. Like this, we will not see it. Okay. And now we just have to make Shift D, RZ 60. And again, Shift D, RZ 60. And now look at this design that we have. It looks gorgeous. So now what we will do, we'll select these objects, and again, we will use here the object radial with a level of 2, and we have this. It looks very nice, this. So, and yeah, with these jewels here, asset, you have the gems, the necklace, for example, if you want to create some chains or different medals. You have the ornaments that you can add into your designs. You have some rings, so it can be very interesting to work with. You have the shaders that are already done too as well. So let's go into the metals and the gems here. I will make, and you have the studio and some HDR that are really interesting, and some studio lighting as well. So what I will do, I will just add an HDR just to create something to render. So we will go into cycles with the GPU compute and the denoise, and I will just go there into the render section, and I will just add maybe that one. I don't know what it will look, how it will look. I like this one, it's okay. So let's go now into the shaders. So I will have some metals here. They have the real colors like in real life. So maybe I would like a gold white in that example. Okay, and we have directly the gold white. We can click and drag into the clothes as well. Okay, you can see that by default the one that is here is not that really interesting for the gems. Okay, sometimes it makes it a little boring, and we cannot really see well the design inside, and it's because there is the metal that cross the design here. So what we have to do in that case, first of all, we have to go into the shading of the diamonds here. So it's just a simple principle here that is very simple. And what we will do, we will add just an add shader. Okay, and we will click and drag this, and now it might look far more interesting than before already. Okay, so this is before, this is after, so it add more lights here into that. So I will go with the diamonds for that as well. And now what I can do again is to make a nice Boolean operation. So what I will do, I will just select this design here and add some. First of all, I will select all the rounds, and I will go into here jeweling, I guess, and add the cutters. You can see that some objects that are really done for make nice Boolean operations are already well set. So here with this, we will select now only this object and the ring design, and we will hide the rest by use this shortcut numpad divide here like that. So now I can make a Boolean operation with control minus. Like this, we will have this design. Look at this, it's perfectly well aligned with the stones. And now if I put back the stones with this shortcut again, so we have everything that is well cut. And for now we have finished the design. So here we can see the result without all the objects. You can see that here we have really the reflections of the stones. If you don't do this operation, it will really ruin your render. So now that we have our design that is finished, as you can see, it looks very good. We can add some studio light. I have the denoise here. Yeah, I have the denoise, but it's still noisy. Maybe just 100 might be enough for that. Easier. Okay, so now here what I would like to do is to add an entire studio. So we have the studio here and we would like a studio box. So let's add this. We will come back with all our objects and come back into non-rendered view, and we will just click and drag the studio. And look at this, you have the entire studio that is made for you with some lights and with a camera and with the background and even with a box. So you put this in the center here at 0 and look, it will fit perfectly on your design. You just have to select your camera, maybe have a nice framing just by selecting this as a 3D cursor and scale it down to make it like this, and maybe with G, Z maybe, and GY. Look at that. You will have something perfect for make a nice render. And now you will have this design that is finished. Maybe I want this one here to be blue. So what I will do, I will just go into the shaders. So I just want this one. So I don't have the right one. This one, please. Yes, thank you. And now I just want a new material like that. And like this, I can change the surface of it. So I will go into the shaders. And maybe I want something blue. Let's tell something like that. Okay. Yeah, something like that might look good. And now I come back with the original render, remove all of this, and you will have the final render over there. So you can see that with this jewel, and I will put the line, the link over there. With this jewel here assets, you can really make things interesting and very quick for your needs and for your projects. So don't hesitate to have a look at it if you want. And that's it for this tutorial. So it was how to produce this kind of design that works very well. And this technique with the object here radial is very useful for that, and you did see that it's really useful. So don't hesitate to use it for your projects. That's it for this video. I have a full course about jewel making, so I put a link inside if you are interested on. See you later. Make very good creations and enjoy Blender. Happy blending.